What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Thursday. It is April 4th, and we are back with yet again another MLB video. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying, take it easy today. It's not a good slate. I've looked it over. There will be money to be made, but it's probably one of the, if not the worst overall slate that I've ever seen, but we're still going to break it down. If you've never been here before, we break it down. We go through all the games. We look at them. We look at the pitching. We look at the bats. We look at everything. We talk about sports betting. We talk about it all for you. So if you haven't checked us out yet, we made an absolute killing yesterday sports betting. Took a 3 home run parlay, round robined it. For Aaron Judge to hit a home run, Corey Seager to hit a home run, and Jordan to hit a home run. Hit all 3 of those. Took another bet of $50 money line for Baltimore, where it was a promo. If they ever went up 2 runs, you automatically won. They did not. They didn't have the lead until the bottom of the 9th when they won the game. Won, I think, $25 on that one. There was another promo, either Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman, to get a hit in their first at-bats. Mookie got it, first at-bat of the game for him. So, huge day. We put it all in the Discord, which you can find in the description of this video. But what we're going to do is you have 2 ways to win every single day. The first way to win a free package from FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, like the video, be a subscriber, and just leave a comment on this video. If it gets at least 50 likes on the video, one of you who left a comment will win a free week of FTA+. If we get 100 likes, you'll win a free month. 125 likes, you will win a free $200 year. Or if we ever get 150 or more likes, someone will win a lifetime pass, which is worth $500. Now, that being said, yesterday's video, we got 141 likes. So we've taken yesterday's video, we are plugging it into the random comment generator, and someone of you, if you are watching, will win. There's 52 comments to go through. Someone will win a free year of FTA+. So let's check it out before we dig in to the other part. So good luck to you all. Let's see who the winner is. And the winner of the free $200 year is Clever One Idea. Let's go. Thanks for the great content. You are welcome. Clever, if you see this, like this video, leave a comment saying you saw it, and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com. We will get you set up for a free year. That free year includes a year of it, the rest of this MLB season and the first week of next season. That includes the rest of this NASCAR season. That includes the rest of this NBA season and the majority of next NBA season. Also includes the entire NFL season and the rest of this PGA season as well. So, that being said, again, congratulations, Clever One Idea. It's that easy. You just leave a comment, like the video. If we get those likes, someone wins. The second way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who is going to score or who is going to hit a home run and what inning are they going to hit it in. If you get it both, you will win a free week of DFS content. So, that being said, we've already given the winner away. We've looked at the website. In the description of this video will be today's article, which you can just look at it. It's a small slate. I do not like this slate. It'll be a tournament-only day for me. All of our content will be tournament-only. There's only 4 games that we can actually play. There's 6 games total. Detroit and New York have to play 2. It's not ideal. I would love to use Casey Mize, but we can't use him in DFS. I would love to use Matt Manning. We can't use him in DFS. So, also, before we finish, FTA Plus is $30 for a month. That includes sports betting and DFS. But tomorrow is the very last day. If you've been thinking about it, if you've been wanting it, a year pass, normally $199, you could get it for $75. Using the promo code MLBVIP, all one word, all capital letters, MLBVIP will get you a free or a full year for $75 instead of $199. You still have a chance to win a year pass, just like in the video and stuff. So you can combine that for 2 years for $75 if you play your cards right. So that being said, we are going to take a look. Like I said, these two games you can't play. You can play like maybe one of these games you're able to play a single game, which we're not going to cover. And I don't even know which one we can actually play yet. Let's see. Let's see which one it is first. So we look at this. It's this game at the 11:10 a.m., which is the Casey Mize game. So you could play the solo game. You could figure it out. You know, maybe we play, maybe we don't. You know, it's like sometimes I like showdowns and sometimes I don't. I like showdowns more for football than I do baseball or any other sport. I just feel more confident about them. Just the weather is one that we need to kind of look at. And this is kind of, if you've never played MLB DFS before, weather's a factor this early in the game. So, that being said, we're just going to look. Just overall, before we get started, there's like, in just looking at the weather, looking at the ballpark factors, it's not looking good for a lot of runs today. It's looking better for pitching, obviously, not for really home runs. Again, that can change, but we're going to go through all of the pitchers and the bats that we like, and then at the end of this video, if you don't know, we do 20,000 simulations a day for MLB. We put them on the website under the MLB tab, along with all of that information down there. But we're going to give you the top, I'm just going to go top 10 to bats after 10,000 simulations, just to give you an idea of what the algorithm likes, what the simulations like in these games. So the top 10 after we get through everything else. So that being said, if you have not checked out our NBA content yet, I will link that at the end of the video. And I am starting to take these videos and break them up into shorts. So if you could check those out, like those, comment on those. I want to see if we can drive traffic there as well, just to see if you guys like it. It breaks it up. It's AI that breaks it up. So it's not me making the captions and stuff like that. Just FYI there. But that being said, we're looking at the games here. So the first game on this main slate of 4 games, which starts at 4:05 Eastern. So you got to realize it's going to start early today. Martin Perez versus Josiah Gray. Perez, 21 plate appearances against Washington, 333 batting average. Then we got Josiah Gray, 36 plate appearances, 182 batting average with a 25% strikeout rate. Now, we can look at what they were able to do before and kind of go from there. So let's take a look at Martin Perez down here at 7,000. So we look at him, obviously one start this year, 4.1 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 1 run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, only 6.4 fantasy points. Now he's going up against a Washington team. Again, it is anything goes today with pitching, to be completely honest with you. When you've got 8 total pitchers, you've got not really good matchups. You honestly could go anywhere with pitching and then take some bats in other positions. We do have a little bit of weather concern in this game, Pittsburgh versus Washington. So we'll monitor it, see if it's anything bad. But I mean, I don't like this slate. But Josiah Gray down here at 6,400. His game logs, I know coming off against Cincinnati, 1 loss in that game. Only 4 innings pitched, 7 earned runs against Cincy. That was in Great American Small Park. Now they're in Washington, so we kind of watch the weather, see where it's going for this one. But I don't mind Josiah Gray. Again, it's a tournament play. Completely got to go off the wall. People are going to be off of him because it's a 15.75 ERA, and the Pirates have been good. I think you could take exposure, especially since we have 2 games or 2 pitchers for DraftKings. So Josiah Gray, I do not mind him there. Martin Perez, I'm probably not using Martin Perez. Just guessing. Bats that jump out, none. There's been none really that jump out right now. If I were to take any bats against Perez, I'd be looking at Lane Thomas. I'd be looking at Eddie Rosario. I mean, they haven't really seen much. Jesse Winker, if he's in there. Joey Gallo, I think, had a home run or 2 home runs on Wednesday. Again, it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but he's a cheap option. Does strike out a ton. Victor Robles, you could look at. You can look at CJ Abrams. You want to get a little creative there. Flip side of that, for whatever reason, if you are not going with Josiah Gray and you want to look at these Pirates bats, Brian Reynolds 4 for 8 with a double and a home run. Good numbers. Connor Joe 0 for 6. Jack Sawinski 2 for 6. Andrew McCutchen 0 for 1, but I still would look at him. Jared Triolo I would look at. You could be looking at, just depending, O'Neal Cruz let us down. I think he had a goose egg yesterday. I would also look at a Cabrian Hayes if you don't want to go with Josiah Gray there. Next game, Guardians at the Twins, Tanner Bibby versus Pablo Lopez. Bibby, 40 plate appearances, 194 batting average against him. Pablo Lopez, 68 plate appearances, a 375 batting average against him. Now, we'll dig into the numbers. We'll look at Tanner Bibby and Pablo Lopez. Now, they are the top 2 highest priced pitchers on the slate. So we look at Pablo Lopez. Game logs. Against Kansas City, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 29.4 K percentage. Again, that was a pitcher's park. We took Pablo Lopez on opening day, and it's exactly what we wanted out of him. Expensive, yes. Now he's going up against Cleveland, who you can see 68 plate appearances, so it's a small sample size, but he has gotten lit up, and we will look at those numbers. Tanner Bibby, on the other hand, you want to look at him. Game logs. We see this. I mean, it was up against Oakland, in Oakland. It's pretty much a free square. Only went 4 innings in that game, 3 earned runs, 5 walks. His pitch count was up there. 88 pitches, 4 Ks, 4.4 fantasy points. Now, Minnesota is a good team. They're a great hitting team when they're on. His price, I might be off of that price. That's the problem. But if we were to take Minnesota bats against Bibby, who he's had success against in the past, Kepler's only 2 for 8 with a double. Christian Vasquez is 2 for 2 with a double. Kirilloff is 1 for 2. Buxton's 0 for 1. Willie Castro's 0 for 1. Julian is 0 for 5. Like, you see this, and the batting average is up there because Kirilloff is at 500. So that's the high number. And then everything else is lower. 250, 125, 100, 1,000. Like, if he gets into foul trouble, though, we might be in, or not foul trouble, but if his pitch count gets up pretty early, we could be in trouble because he is expensive. So maybe use him a little bit. I might avoid just because Minnesota, when they are on, they are on. And then if we look at Cleveland, shows 68 plate appearances. It shows a 375, but it could just be like one player. I mean, Jose Ramirez is 4 for 13 with a triple. That's 308 batting average. Andres Jimenez is 5 for 11 with 2 doubles. That's 455. Will Brennan is 3 for 8 with a double. Stephen Kwan is 5 for 11. Bo Naylor, 2 for 4, has a home run. So Josh Naylor, I love taking Josh Naylor against a righty pitcher. I would definitely look at that. I could see both ways. I could see you going with Pablo Lopez because he's coming off a great start, the most expensive pitcher, but you have to get creative in a game setting when there are only 4 games where the possibility of one has a possible bad weather. That is where I'm scared a little bit. So we look at that. I would absolutely love Jose Ramirez. I would love Josh Naylor there. I would look at Stephen Kwan. I would look at all of these guys. So in my mind, as of now, I might be fading Pablo Lopez. I might be fading both of these pitchers. But again, it's a very ugly slate out there. Next 2 pitchers, Ryan Weathers versus Lance Lynn. You got 16 plate appearances against Cardinals. 250 batting average, so not much. But looking at that, if you don't go with Ryan, so we'll look at Ryan Weathers real quick. So we'll take a look at Ryan Weathers. He's down here at 6,200. Game log wise, against Pittsburgh, only 4 innings pitched, 94 pitches in there, got hit. I mean, his pitch count was up there. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 7 fantasy points. Okay, St. Louis, they've been putting up runs, but then they're not that good of a team. So Ryan Weathers at 6,200, you got to get creative, like I said. I mean, putting him in there. If you put him in there and then you put Josiah Gray, or you put him in there and like Lance Lynn, I mean, you could go other places. I don't think any pitchers off the slate, except for like if you don't want to pay up very high, because I think everyone will. Lance Lynn, on the other hand, 114 plate appearances, 245 batting average. If I weren't taking Ryan Weathers and I was taking the bats for St. Louis, first off, I'm taking Arenado. I would take Paul Goldschmidt. Wilson Contreras is one. And let's see if anyone, like, is it just one batter? Yeah, like Wilson Contreras is 3 for 9 with 2 doubles and a home run, so he sees the ball very well. Arenado's 1 for 2 with a home run. Goldie's 0 for 2, but he would be one that I would look at. Brandon Crawford, it just depends if he starts. I could see you going both ways here. I could definitely see you going Ryan Weathers because his price is the lowest. I could also see you stacking the Cardinals because I think they'll be under-owned compared to what we're used to. And then Lance Lynn, on the other hand, going here, faced his old team in the Dodgers, only lasted 4 innings, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 16 fantasy points. Actually did well against them. And now he's got a little bit better matchup against Miami. I don't mind Lance Lynn here. I think this could be a low-scoring game. I think you could go both Lance Lynn and Ryan Weathers, and you could still average about 4,400 apiece. So maybe you go through and obviously if you're taking Weathers, you're not taking Contreras, so on and so forth. We could look at this all day. But those are 2 options that you could definitely take in a small slate like this. Then the final game, White Sox at the Royals. This is a pitcher's park. Michael Soroka versus Seth Lugo. So we look at both of these. Soroka down here, 6,600. We know that his rookie year, he was really good. Then he got injured and it was derailed. Through 77 pitches, 44 strikes before exiting the mound with a lead. But yeah, we look at his numbers. 5 innings pitched against Detroit, 4 earned runs, no strikeouts there, 3 walks, minus 2.8. I would rather take the Royals bats here, and we'll look at those bats too. Seth Lugo, on the other hand, 14 plate appearances, 0 batting average. They don't see each other. You got Lugo here coming off of a game against Minnesota, went 6 innings there, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 19.1 fantasy points. The White Sox have looked bad. They've put up runs too, but I don't trust them. I'd rather take Seth Lugo here at 8,300. So, in my instance in this game, I'm probably not taking White Sox bats. I'd look at Seth Lugo. I would look at the Royals bats. Vinny Pescatino. I would look at Salvador Perez. Bobby Witt Jr., obviously. If he's not hitting home runs, he's stealing bases. All of these are fantasy points gold. You get fantasy points there. If you want to do a wraparound stack, Kyle Isbell. I mean, we could look real quick because you might not be able to name, unless you're, Michael Garcia, Nelson Velasquez, Hunter Renfroe, MJ Melendez, Isbell, Nick Lofton. Like, you could use all these guys. Got to get creative, though, but Soroka just didn't look good. So, to be honest with you, I'm not going to do this every time, but let's try and build a lineup using... Let's go with them. Pitching-wise, let's go with Seth Lugo. Let's also go, let's say Lance Lynn has his stuff. Maybe Lance Lynn has his stuff. First base, you do think, so, I mean, you can average about 3,800, okay. But we look at this, maybe we want to go a different route. Maybe we want to look at, we're not taking Miami against St. Louis. We're Josh Naylor against Lopez, okay. Second base is where we're going to get a little, average 3,600, could go with Julian. Okay, third base, for instance, Jose Ramirez had good numbers there. Michael Garcia got great numbers here. Ke'Bryan Hayes at 4,700. The problem is we're averaging 3,700 the rest of the way. Lipscomb, we've used Trey this season. We used him when he got 8 fantasy points. So he didn't really go off. We didn't get him when he went off for 21, but he's there. We know what we could expect out of him. So, I mean, it depends on where you want to go. Let's say we go Ke'Bryan Hayes just for now. We can obviously change it up. 3,400-ish is the average throughout. If you want to continue this as a Kansas City stack, MJ Melendez I would look at. You could look at Kyle Isbell. If you look at what he's done, 8, 0, 3, 19. Like, he's hit a home run against Minnesota. Now he's facing Soroka. Kyle Isbell's a sneaky option, I think. Now we're about 3,400 away. So Margot against Bibby. Eddie Rosario had good numbers against Perez. I'll look at Eddie Rosario. Now, this is a tournament lineup, not anything special. One that I just did off the top of my head. We're not going to do this every night. I just have time to do it because there's only 4 games. But that's just a kind of tournament lineup that we can build around. So that's the breakdown of the 4 games. We're going to give you the top 10 bats, and I'm going to remove the Mets and Detroit bats, and we'll just give you the bats on this main slate. So looking at this, these are through 10,000 simulations. Later on, about 2 hours before first pitch, is when we have all 20,000 simulations done, which you can find right here under simulation. So definitely go check that out if you have not already. But the algorithm so far likes Brian Reynolds, number 1, Jazz Chisholm, number 2, number 3, Brendan Donovan, number 4, Vinny Pasquantino, number 5, MJ Melendez, number 6, Nelson Velasquez, 7, Jack Sawinski, 8, Paul Goldschmidt, 9, Bobby Witt Jr., and 10, Wilson Contreras. Now, these are the top 10 as of now. They will change throughout the day. We'll kind of monitor the situation with the weather in Pittsburgh or Washington. We'll look at any other algorithm stuff. We'll look at the Vegas numbers that come out. We'll do it all. So if you have not checked it out yet, MLB, everything down here, go check it out. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Links are in the description. It's awesome when you guys like the videos. It helps me so much when you click on the ads. I understand as a YouTube user for years, I understand the ad blocker. I understand ads are annoying. If you just clicked on the ad, it helps out so much. You don't even realize. People have asked about tips and donations or whatever. And what I say is, if you're thinking about that, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. I can give you a PayPal, a CashApp, or Venmo. People do super thanks here on YouTube, but YouTube takes like up to 50% of those just off the top. So it's kind of annoying the way they do that. But I get it. It's how they make their money too. So that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully you found it at least a little helpful. If this is the first time you've checked the channel out, this is not a great representation of an actual full slate of what we do, but we do. This was a condensed version. We do a lot more in those. So that's what I've got. I will link the NBA video for today. PGA is also on the site as well. So good luck today, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.